Honestly, don't know how loud this is going to be. I hope it's not too loud. Let's just check. That moment where I'm trying to check and it's loading up the wrong thumbnails on YouTube. Let's see. Oh, some new stuff out. Sweet. Here's where it says the title's wrong on the stream. It's so funny. It says it's part of a previous series. Right, let's get on with this, because I can't be messing around with this for too long. I just hope that the audio is not on too loud. So let's get on with this. Right, blink. All these commands are in Japanese. All these shape keys, so now I've got to basically figure out which ones are which and redo them. Happy blink. And then we'll redo the materials, and we'll put some lighting in, and we should be good. Left blink? I'm assuming this one's going to be right blink? Left happy blink? Oh, crap. Left happy blink. Right, happy blink. All these little individual controls that I need. That one's eyes widen. Board. Let's try board eyes. These just need to be self-explanatory, basically. Those are all for individual eyes, that's fine. See what we got here. Those are all for widening. That's for A, I think. I or E. We'll try I. Like an O. Oh, crap. Hey, Classic, can I just ask, how's the audio on your end? You know, like music in the background. How are you? Try either. That looks like one of the other ones, but we'll just put it down as ah. Smile. I hear the music. So it's like, it's very, like, you can hear me over the music, right? I was trying to think, I'm all over the place at the moment because I only woke up like an hour ago. Left smirk. Balance is good. Ah, thanks very much. Let's try reading your reading your comment now. It's just because I couldn't figure out whether the audio is okay before, so it's better me, you know, asking before trying to reply to you. I did a mobile suit vote on Wing Zero and Sky Zero, and Cheeky and Dumb to my community, which, like Walt, know until tonight. Do you have a favorite out of them? Depends is... Because I know Wing Zero Sky is the one that's like the TV version, right? Instead of the Endless Waltz one. Is just the standard one the TV one as well, or is that the Endless Waltz one? Oh. Oh. Sorry, I just have to clear my throat. I got a load of stuff in the back of it. Terrible. Let's do... Maybe neutral? And yeah, before anyone asks, I am using the Deltarune OST again, just so I don't listen to the Undertale one too much, because I don't want to listen to it too much and then not have it affect me the way that it normally does. I'm not so sure about that one, just... try neutral too. Just say for that one. Small mouth? These just have to be self-explanatory, just so that I know what each of them do. These last two, they're self-explanatory. But the thing is, there's one that I've not seen in here that people have done, which I might have to add, which is a set of eyes for Muffet properly, instead of just the eyelids. Some people have actually done like little glowing pupils in the center. I think I might do that. But before we do that, let's save. Make sure I save the file as Muffet, and then what we'll do is. Excuse me. We'll make sure that I have everything set up here. I'm just trying to... I always have the background is really dark for when I do renders. Primarily just so that then I can get the lighting right. So like for instance, if we do some temporary lighting here, we do like an arena. What we can do is we can use this to see what Muffet's materials are going to be like. I've been really busy the past couple of days, so it's been nuts. Ooh. Okay, so we got kind of like a bit of a thing going on at the moment with lighting. Let's try... Because Muffet is kind of in the Heartland area, let's give the light a little bit of an orange glow to it, and then what we can do is we can put one behind her that is more white to give a kind of edge lighting. Gotta make renders look pretty after all. You know, the entire thing has to be pretty, so let's try this. And then what we're doing is we're hitting Muffet from behind with white light, and then we hit it with about 50 and it edge lights her just that little bit. What we can do is we can do ambient, bloom, screen space, and we've already got a decent looking render set up. Not too bad. So then we can do like crazy tile size, volumetric shadows, make sure the shadow cascade is like decent scale so we're not getting too much pixelation. And then, after that, we can start tweaking Muffet materials to make sure they're alright, because they're all MMD stuff at the moment, and I need to know what they actually are, so we'll get the hex here for the moment. That's her head, so we'll go hex. We'll take this and make it a principal shader. We'll rename that to head. Because the principal ones allow me to have a little bit more control, so we'll make it a little bit more like this. Right? And then we'll do Speculous 5 already, that's fine. Roughness for skin, let's try 0.6. Seems to be fine at the moment, just make sure I get the hex for that. Right, and then we've got... These are probably going to be the eyes, or let's figure this out. Ah, there we go. This is because Magic, the guy that created these, put them in MMD, and things work from MMD differently, so of course, taking them out and then putting them in something else, you gotta really change up everything. Muffet has dark hair, so we'll do this. Then we'll make the roughness about 0.7, and tone the specular down to about 0.3. That's not looking too bad. It all depends on the lighting as well. So, I imagine this is going to be the secondary hair color. Yes, it is. Okay, so we'll do... Edge lighting is a nice touch. Maybe try some side shaders for the tone. I like just messing around with the principal stuff, primarily because it's just easy to use. That doesn't actually look too bad. The best part about this is, by switching from MMD stuff, even though it looks pretty flat, to more principal BSDF shaders, we get a lot more of the edge lighting coming through, we get a lot more realistic sort of reactions to lighting, so it's all good. Now, I imagine I'm going to need Hex for this, because this looks like it's going to be her arms. Let's just check. Oh, it's her eyes! What? Okay, so... Classic says, got a thumbs up. Okay, so we'll do her eyes in, like, black as well. Or maybe... just give them a little bit of tone here, try and give a purple, like really dark purple, but because of how they are, we'll lower the reflectiveness down to about maybe 0.2. The idea being that they look a little bit more reflective, like proper eyes. Be nice if we can get some volumetrics in here as well, because like fog, because normally that'll help pick up stuff. These eyes will be a lot better when they have the pupils in as well. So what's this? Number 4 is the white part. There is a... It's like I was saying, there is apparently a control for her eyes, but I'm not quite sure what it is. Because it's not showing here. Just go through these. These are to do with a mouth. You'd think it'd be up here. See. Thought these were all blink before, you see, but if they're not, I'm missing one. Well then, because there's definitely a shader for it, because there's no white on her anywhere else. These are all blink. That was eye widen, so I imagine that's eye widen as well, yeah. So where the heck is this control then? Was it just like not made or what? Has she got it in the wireframe? Yeah, she has them in the wireframe. I'm wondering whether it's something about the material then? It might, oh, I know what it might be. If I do Principal VSDF, there we go. There we go, we can see them a little bit now. So shadow mode, none. Alpha hash, backface culling. Opaque, there we go, we can see them now. Pupils. Why are they black though? Oh, is it because the emission? Mission strength. Something's going on here. Like, I've changed the shader and everything, but it's still black? That makes literally no sense. Oh, wait, alpha. There we go. Dude, seriously? Forgot about that. Okay. Not so sure about pupils being that big. Maybe I can make them slightly smaller. Hey, John. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the title for this. On my end, the title for the stream actually reads proper. but for some strange reason on your end it doesn't. I'm not quite sure why. It's really strange. Like, literally, I typed it all in before stream and double-checked it, so it's just YouTube, I think. Right, diffuse color for that is... I think this might be a clothes. Oh, no, it's a ribbons. Okay, okay. It was correct on my end, just wasn't when you posted it on Discord, says John. Oh, fair enough then. So it's Discord then, maybe? Nice to see you, by the way, John. Been incredibly busy the past couple of days, so I'm enjoying myself right now. Let's try and make the ribbons a little bit more. Two All-Nighter says, yo, hello! Wait, Blur, is that you? Just checking here. Oh. Try and lower that. It's Blur. Oh, nice, nice. So yeah, what you've caught me doing is just getting Muffet ready. Because essentially what I do is, because I have to source these models from everywhere else, obviously, because I've mentioned before to everyone that I'm working with at the moment, that this is basically an animation project. It just happens to be that I'm getting models from everywhere else. What happens is, I have to take the models, obviously after I've credited the people involved, and then transfer them into Blender and fix the shaders, because some of the shaders, or quite a lot of them, will be either for Source Filmmaker or MMD at this point in time for Muffet here. So what we're doing is just giving her more realistic shaders rather than flat ones, so we can see how the lighting will affect her. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I have also a problem with a cough at the moment. But yeah, we can see Muffet's getting a little bit of nice edge lighting from behind there. I'm actually liking that. Maybe I should... If I take off contact shadows to get to a little bit more. The reason why she looks a little bit orange in the face as well is because I've got lighting for, well, what I thought would be reflective of Hotland's lighting on her, but let's see if we can make it a little bit more white. Oh no. Maybe purple? Okay, so definitely changing the value of the light helps. Like, that really helps. So at least that gives me an idea for her area, just to have the lighting be slightly purple. Got the ribbons, we've got this. Reminds me I need to potentially put limits on certain casting at the moment, primarily just so that we can try and get the voices done in, I'd say, like, maybe a month tops. Not all the lines, I mean like the sample ones. So the joints, anchor or static, just like a simple Blender setup. The points, the rig is all custom for MMD with like fingers and everything else, which is really good because it means I can make a really emotive if I want. I'm going to be animating each one of these hands. Oh boy. That reminds me, I need to get in contact with Frisk again later to see whether they can do lines today. Right, let's see. Oh, is this for the mouth? Hey Z! To test her model, make her bad, says John. Wait, what do you mean? Make her dab. Oh, right. But yeah, for those who are just coming in, like, or rather, for those from my community already who don't know much about Undertale, yeah, this is Muffet. This is one of the later bosses. Also, it's the whole thing of the project got really interesting recently with getting a lot more people on to help out. So I'm actually really happy at obviously being able to do my animation and do it a lot more accurately now instead of like basically doing guesswork off what was the cinematic dub. But yeah, hello to everyone on the team. There we go, there's the teeth. Why are the teeth black? That's strange. What I'm doing is trying to figure out... Oh, I love the way I was going to put Seethe there. I've lost track of what I was going to say there. I'm rather parched. I'm gonna have a couple of spiders, says John. But yeah, the best part about this is, a lot of my community do not care about Undertale. Like before I started doing the animation properly and started actually showing off what I was doing, a lot of them just didn't care. There were a couple of people that I knew that played it, but the exciting thing for me is introducing new people to Undertale. So it's going to be good that way. And also the whole thing of when it's obviously released, there's going to be a lot more people that look at it and go, oh, that's cool. You know, so trying to get the characters as accurate as they can and all the details is pretty challenging, but I enjoy it. I enjoy a good challenge. Oh, where are these shaders? I'm looking around Muffet here, trying to find out where these shaders are related to, and I cannot find them at all. Strange. They might be inside the mouth at the moment. I'll have to check it out in a bit. Those are see-through. Don't know what they control yet. This is the funny thing about most of these, is the funny thing about most of these is having to go through and translate them. This is what I've had to do with a lot of the models. Sorry if I'm all over the place, like ad-libbing and everything at the moment. Normally I try and have some structure to what I'm talking about here, but because I just woke up like an hour ago, and I've been running around since trying to obviously contact people and respond to people and then dealing with other stuff in my house. Obviously, I'm very distracted. That and I'm just generally easily to distract anyway, so... Have a drink there. I'm not sure how you want to work on this project for, but I thought it would be badass if you released this for a 10-year anniversary. Ooh, that would be good. See, the thing is, I'm going to try and work on it as much as possible and get as much done as I can. We'll have to see. Some of the stuff, I mentioned this last night, but some of the stuff that I've already got done, I may need to redo slightly. Primarily just because I've seen the frame rate is pretty low. Okay. Muffet's face getting slightly darker in tone there. Yeah, what ended up happening was I've noticed a lot of the animations at the moment seem to be a little bit slow, and I think that's because the previous computer that I started this project with was just really slow. So of course I'm trying to do things at slower frame rate to make sure it looks right, and thinking, no, it's okay. It looks decent. But now I'm looking back at it and I'm like, okay, I'll speed things up, tweak things a little bit. It won't take too much effort, and everything will just look better in general, so... It's almost like the trailer is kind of that rough draft of stuff that I want to put out, but not necessarily will be the same quality. It'll probably be better. Those are the arms, I believe, there? Yes, they are. Okay, so we do arms. Honestly, it would be really good if I could get it for like the 10th anniversary or something. Or before. Right, so we've got these shaders on there at the moment. Now, because we've got different shaders on her, she looks a little bit different. I'm not sure whether I should make the skin tone darker or not. Mainly because of the face. Because, like, Muffet's face isn't too dark, but, like, we've seen if I give her a more purple-toned face, she falls in line with the artwork. Hey, you can hear the baby in the background. Is she okay? She got a cough?
Yeah, got a bit.
Maybe about that for Muffet's face tone. Primarily because I just want it to look as accurate as possible. I know it's not too dark, but... A lot of this work, though, that I've been doing beforehand is very much like this, where it's a case of messing around with shaders and other people's work and trying to get it to match what you think. Okay, let's see if I do this now and up that to 10. If I have more intense light on the front, obviously, she's going to look brighter. Damon comes in and says, cute! Thank you very much, Damon. So let's see what we got here. Diffuse color, we'll pick that. Again, the reason for me messing around with these shaders is just to make them look a little bit more realistic, and what I mean by that is the way that they catch the light, the way that her eyes glow. Honestly, what I was thinking of doing is, once I've done all of the sample lines with people in terms of, like, dialogue, I was actually thinking of doing a couple of sample test animations where we have people that did voiceovers or have done voiceovers, whoever wins the roles, actually having like a small animation with the character. So that might be cool. Let's do specular there. Roughness, 0. Actually, specular needs to be 5. 0.3 maybe for the ribbon. This is just how reflective it is, so it can catch light differently. Yeah, one of the things that I have a problem with at the moment is primarily how I'm organizing stuff. I'll admit I'm not the best at organizing stuff for voice acting. That's primarily because the last time I did anything like this on such a large scale was like 10 years ago, and basically I treated it more or less just like, okay, whoever wants to come and voice, just come and voice. I'll put some lines down, I'll put the names of the characters, just do them, and then I'll take whatever, because I didn't really care about that project as much. With this one, I'm trying to be as careful as I can so I don't annoy anybody, and trying to get back into the swing of things and make sure the organization's a little bit better. So I'm slowly getting better at it. Admittedly, taking advice from everybody else, because, you know, it's not as if I'm going to shrug off advice from people that have more experience. That would be really stupid. There we go, that would be top. It's okay. Oh, I'm just going to open that. We chill. You're doing great. Thank you very much. The one thing I didn't mention to the cast as well, or haven't mentioned yet, so Z and Blur are going to be the first ones to hear this, is the last... I've done a couple of projects that are similar. I did a game project ages ago in like 2004 until 2009, and that didn't pan out for me. Basically, I was left as the only person left on the dev team, because the rest of my people that were helping got poached. You know, like people that were doing animations for me and other stuff. The second project I did was from about 2009 till 2010. That fell victim to a computer dying on me. And then from the end of 2010 till 2019, roughly, with a huge break in between, was when I did another project that was supposed to be a large-scale movie-style animation. The problem with that was, it went okay until people started DDoSing me and then tried to get me fired from my job, which was really stupid. And as a result, I quit that community completely and just said, no, I'm not continuing with that project. Even though that project did get funded and was fully, you know, in the works. I had funding for it. I had a new computer for it at the time, which was the old one that's basically just died on me. It's just, it's been pretty rough getting to this point. So doing this project, over the course of the other projects, what happened was I've been self-taught doing 3D for so many years, since like 2004, the end of 2004. And the idea was, I was at university at the time doing games design, so I thought, right, I'll just learn everything myself if I can and be just that general, you know, odd jobs man that does everything or knows everything about video game design and 3D. Just little bits here and there. I'm not really an expert at it, but I'd like to be as good as I can be at it. And I'm there meddling around with everything. And the one thing that I never dabbled in was animation. So when it comes to this project, that's obviously what I'm trying to improve on. But the crazier part was that throughout all of these individual projects, I've been slowly trying to not rely on as many people, primarily because, like I said before, people got poached from another project. One other project I signed on with somebody else, they had contractual obligations and then just simply vanished on me. So I've always been left as the sole member of the dev team and the only one left. Basically the last man standing, as it were. So that's not exactly the most nicest of stories, but the funny thing is, the reason why I tell that primarily is just because it shows basically that no matter what, I'm always the only one left that does the work. So getting to this is the nice part as well. Getting to this part with this project, I didn't want to rely on anybody else really, if I could help it. But the thing is, that's because I think I was more worried about, and I still am a little bit, about how the community would react to this. Primarily because, you know, some communities, like I've mentioned with one of the other ones that tried to DDoS me, and then get me fired from a job. Basically, some communities react very differently and very violently, so of course I was trying to be careful with it and not rely on too many other people. I brushed up a little bit on animating. I did a couple more things to learn skills over the years to get to this point. And then I was like, okay, I'll try doing this animation. And originally it was supposed to be really small. And then just over the course of me just wanting to animate more and get better and include more is where it stretched the project out to where it's at now, where it's basically the full pacifist run. And I find, ironically enough, that out of all the communities I've been in and all the giant projects that I've done, at the moment at least, at the point of doing this stream, the Undertale community is the most supportive for me, which has helped a lot, which I'm really, really surprised about and I'm not taking for granted. Let's put it that way. Like, no way am I taking all the help that I'm getting for granted, especially with the voice acting, because God, it's so good. It's just a case of I've not got to get distracted too much and obviously not mess people around when it comes to doing roles. But I'm going to be doing an update video soon, I think, about roles and everything at the moment, just behind the scenes in general for that, because I feel like it's going so well. You know, it's really, really fun to do at the moment. I've just got to make sure I don't, obviously, like I said, mess people around. I don't want to give people the impression that I'm a complete nasty person and that I'm just sort of not responding to anybody. Let's try Boots here for this name. I'm glad you're persevering and keep on going. I try to, you know. It's that whole thing of, like, with this by far as well was the most enjoyable thing that I could have picked project-wise. Primarily just because of all the characters and attachments to them. You know, I absolutely love the way Muffet's looking with the more realistic shaders here at the moment. How old are you, says Blur. I am 35. I'm probably one of the older people in the community in terms of working on this thing. It was funny because it put me on the spot the other night because I was in VR chat with Rev, and me and Rev are just messing around in VR chat playing Brick Break in the Undernet hub, and somebody asks Rev how old he is, and Rev's like, "Oh, I'm 25." And somebody turns around to him and goes, "Dude, you're ancient." And I'm sat there thinking, how do I reply? I just turned around and went, "Yeah, that's not what you'd kind of expect when you come in here, is it?" And Rev's like, "No, I didn't expect any of this." You know? But I'm sat there, like, basically in this lobby just thinking, oh God, I am not mentioning my age, because somebody will think it's suspicious or whatever, when really all I want to do is just enjoy animating and stuff and talking to people. VR chat community is full of babies, for real. It's okay. It's not too bad, it just made me feel very out of place, you know. I'm sat there thinking, oh God, you know. It's like, I'm sat there thinking to myself, is this bad? Or, you know, is it one of those things where somebody's going to come in and be like, dude, you should totally not be in here or doing this or enjoying yourself? Meanwhile, I'm sat there thinking, dude, I just enjoy playing video games and looking around different worlds and seeing, you know, who's in there and what they actually do and stuff. You know, so I was freaking out like mad thinking, oh God. Because, you know, some people these days can literally just say anything about somebody and without the receipts, you don't know whether it's true or not. So I was definitely like a deer in headlights. You sound like you're in your mid-20s. Oh, thank you very much. Hi, Ember. Let's see. Scatter. What we're doing here is we're putting in some volumetric fog into here, hopefully, to try and give it a little bit more atmosphere. Immediately Muffet just vanishes. Try to give it more atmosphere, because normally a little bit of fog does give it that, but... And then we lower the... Might have to edit the lights as well. I'm glad I'm only 19, says John. Hey, what? Either way, I think it's pretty funny just because, like, it made me feel awkward for a little bit. But I think that's primarily just because of... It's not as if anybody's ever asked me my age before. You know, I don't consider it to be a bad thing. Muffet's test render is looking pretty nice at the moment. So what we do is go back to... "27 is the new 19, right?" says John. Okay, so there we go. We got a test render for Muffet going on. What I need to do is check out Asriel, because I mentioned this before, but Floral keeps sending me a ton of stuff. I can't thank Floral enough. Floral keeps sending me, excuse me, models for different things. I think Asriel's in here somewhere. Where is he? Final Form Asriel? There he is. There's Muffet's test render. "Since we're guessing your age," says Ember. No, you're not guessing. I've already mentioned it. I've already mentioned what my age was. FPX. Funny thing is, it's like, I am 35, but I don't feel it. And that's primarily just because I think of how I act sometimes. I feel a lot younger. Well, let's try... Here's Asriel, but we've got a better... And this is going to sound terrible if Floral sees this. I've got a better Asriel for the default model. No offense, Floral. What I'm after here is the base for Asriel's final Hyperdeath, or God of Hyperdeath form. There's Asriel as a child, there's God of Hyperdeath, which is a shape key, and then I need to get rid of... I need to get rid of the Goner for a start. Let's see. Because I've got a slightly better Hyper Goner as well. Oh, it actually opens as well. I've just never seen that in VR chat. Let's get rid of the sabers. Where is... Trying to find the weapon there. Come on, where is it? Oh, by the way, for Z and Blur, don't ask about Ember. She's into some weird things, so she'll say some weird things. My community doesn't tend to care, like the one that I've got for Discord that's not related to Undertale doesn't tend to care too much about Undertale, so they like more robots and stuff. How do I get rid of? Asriel looks great, says Z. He's gonna look better because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna replace the head. Possibly do a new body. I just wanted to know the shapes of these shoulder parts so I could get them more accurate, so hopefully it'll be really good. Come, Dave. Oh, let's see. He has many deviants, says Ember. Dude, seriously? That moment where Ember comes in and is like, I'm going to try and sabotage you by saying all kinds of stuff that we can't prove or disprove. Okay, so let's see here. Dude, seriously? let's try. I'm gonna have to edit some of this. Some of this stuff I haven't actually seen in VR chat before, so... The cool thing about this project, though, is getting to work with a lot of new people that I would have otherwise probably not talked to. Like, for instance, trying to get the models from Floral and other people has opened me up to a lot of new people that are like, oh, sweet, you're that guy. And I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to do things. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'll help out. I'll pass you the models. You know, that's one thing I never expected from people, is that in other communities, you can be part of like a project and say, oh, I want this model or whatever, and people will just be really, really cautious and obviously not give you the model because they're not too sure. Whereas at the moment, with this project, whenever I ask for a model, quite often, I'll be able to get it off somebody, and it's not going anywhere apart from on my hard drive for the animation, so... God of Hyperdeath. Ember says, so how's the project going? Spontaneously made a ton of connections. I think I got really lucky with the project this last week. And this is going to be funny for, potentially for Blur and Z hearing this. Because, no joke, this is going to be the exact telling of what happened. So I'm there, I'm doing the animation, I'm doing little bits here and there, getting ready for the dog couple scene, which is... Where are they? They're going to be here. Snowden's going to take a little while to load up. There we go. New computer just makes everything load in like 2 seconds. So we're getting ready for the dog couple scene here this week. And I'm like, okay, I'll go on VR chat, see how the VR chat stuff's going. And the person in the VR chat lobby that runs the world is like, okay, well, we're doing an update. Would you like to be part of it? And I'm like, yeah, can you do me a favor? Can you do like a crossover? I'll do like a poster or something, and we can get more people to have eyes on the project. And sure enough, they were like, yeah, sure, just pass me one. So I do the poster, and the poster is, you know, obviously Moody and Moody, Frisk, and the third character, which I will not mention yet. But yeah, there's 3 characters on the poster, and that goes up and it starts getting attention. And then sure enough, Rev comes in to the world like 2 days later after I've been showing it around to people, and people have been seeing the trailer and going, oh, that looks like a pretty cool thing. Good luck with that. And no joke, I assigned Frisk's voice actress because she's really nice. I really like her, you know, in terms of the way that she is. She gave me really good feedback on the trailer, and I'm like, okay, we'll put Frisk in it way more, and I'll spin the twist that I have a little bit more, so Frisk's more active in the overall story. And sure enough, she comes in on Discord and she goes, dude, you realize Rev's in here right now? And I'm like, what? She says, yeah, Rev Trosti's in here. I'm like, the Rev Trosti? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, whoa, immediate, like, all caps. I'm like, dude, I've got to come on because we might be able to do something here. Because for those who don't know, Rev is really well known for voice acting in the Undertale community. So I'm like, okay, I gotta talk to Rev because I'd previously tried DMing him and his DMs were closed. So I couldn't get a hold of him. He mentioned as much. He was like, dude, I'm like a boomer for using technology when I was talking to him later on. But, hi Naruto. So anyway, I come in, I'm trying to find Rev, and I didn't have the mic on. I don't like my voice that much, so of course I didn't have the mic on. And I'm trying to talk to Rev, say like, dude, I've tried contacting you for ages. I'm like a giddy school child at this point, you know. And, Rev's just chilling out with everybody else, trying to just hang. And, everybody else is trying to help me talk, like, because I'm obviously doing text chat. And, he eventually sees my text chat and goes, oh, sweet, so have you got a trailer for this? I'm like, yeah, sure, come with me. So I show him the trailer and he's like, oh, interesting. And then I show him the second trailer where, I mention about the thing that, like, I need voice acting, and Rev's like, I might be able to help with that. I'll like DM you or something. And I'm like, okay. So he DMs me. And he's like, so what do you need? And I was like, well, I got these like 30 plus roles that I need filling, and I want to do the entire pacifist run because the pacifist run, man, you know, why not? So Rev's like, give me a while, I'll make this Google form out for you, just a basic one. And I'll talk to some people and see if they're interested. And then, no joke, within that evening, we got Rev, and about 7 or 8 other people, including Z and Blur in here, just coming into the project, and they're all really good at what they do as well. I never expected it, no joke, almost in tears mentioning it, primarily just because the whole thing of like, I never expected this. And it's just come completely out of nowhere, so of course I'm still overwhelmed. Oh, it's just like, what is even going on right now? So of course I've been riding high from like the day that I got everybody in, but because of how I am, I've been trying my hardest not to upset anyone and not to mess people around. Obviously, it's just, now I've got to deal with like 7 or 8 different people, casting them and making sure I'm on top of other people that are DMing me as well that aren't on the cast list at the moment, saying, oh, I want to help out. So I'm managing so many people and saying like, this character's taken, that character's taken, this one's got auditions for it. And I'm just like, oh god, this is crazy. And everything's kicked up into like high gear all of a sudden. And I'm just like, I can deal with it. I just hope I don't upset anybody because it's totally not what I want to do, you know? So I'm kind of freaking out right now. Oh, which is really funny. Hello, do you do Asriel? Says Fun Undertale. Oh, this is not my model. This is by Floral Pikmin. You can see them on VR chat. Yeah, Rev's really chill. I do like that. We're all in a server together, which is primarily VAs for the Undertale community, which is where Rev sent this. Oh, nice. Seriously, thank you both very much. I think I'm just going to mention it now. Thanks to everybody else if you end up watching this, whether you're from VR chat or whether you were sent here by Rev, because honestly, I can't thank you enough. I really can't, because it's going to help a lot. So, it's the funny thing was, after I started getting Frisk's voice actor and what is now Sans voice actor from Lo-Fi from VR chat, I was like, okay, this is picking up steam. And then when everybody else came on board and everybody's been doing like sample voices or, you know, sending lines the past couple of days, Frisk's voice actress came back to me and said, you know what's funny? It's hilarious when you think about it, because potentially, including all the credits list for everybody that I'm crediting for like different artwork or models or everything else, you could think of this as like potentially the biggest Undertale collaborative project that's ever been done, and I'm like, I never thought about it that way. That's scary. Oh no. You know. So, yeah, pretty crazy. Crash course in learning how to do HR. Do it, says Ember. Oh, the reason why I'm showing the dogs off again is primarily because they're animation. I don't know whether this is going to lag out too much, because I've got all of Snowden rendered at the moment, which I'll show for Z and Blur, primarily because you probably haven't seen it all in one go. But the dogs, the reason why they're like this at the moment, they're a slight edit of the Asriel model, as a few people have mentioned to me, that I managed to do because I was copying somebody else's models on DeviantArt. I looked at it, and somebody had done a render showing the dogs, the entire dog squad. And even though I've tried to get all of them, I still can't get, I think it's one, the dog with the knives at the beginning. And I'm like, okay, I'll try and do the dog couple. I just need to know how they were done in this render. So I look at the render, and sure enough, the render looks like Asriel's model. So I go and look around on DA, and it's like, yeah, the model's just heavily edited from Asriel. So I edited it the same way. But I did something slightly funny for editing certain bits, because I've kit bashed a lot of these models and things. We've got like Zelda models in here and everything else. What I did was, I can't remember how I did the her here for Dogami, but because I kit bash a lot of the stuff, I think it was a Sonic Models socks that he has for around his shoes, and I just used those for the hoods on both the dogs. So that was pretty easy to do. We got all the little details like the his and her eyes on the axes. The axes, I've made them more like executioner axes, because somebody said the other day they look like the spaghetti because of how long they are, but really they're supposed to be like giant executioner axes. So I've done that, and they've got Japanese style sandals on that you can only just see under there. But yeah, we've got all of Snowdin. All of Snowdin. Let's have a look. So this is what I was saying. There's an example of kit bashing. We've got like Zelda style signs over here that take the same place as the ones from Undertale. Then we've got Sonic spike sets there that replace the spike traps. We've got custom stuff over there. Well, a few custom things. A couple of trees from Source Filmmaker, and I think some Zelda stuff going around there to emulate the tree line. We've got a light, which I can't remember where that was from, but a lot of these are like poached from other areas. The textures were from one of the most crazy Sonic games ever, Sonic 06. The bridge is from Zelda. The funny thing is, all of it blends in well together with the right lighting. We got the particle effects over here, which I ended up doing a while back. So we've got like heavy snow. The idea is to make Snowdin Forest and just generally Snowdin look like it's kind of in a little bit of a blizzard to give you that winter feel, which is why there's also some fog in here, like winter fog. We've got the bit with the spaghetti and the microwave from Papyrus, and we even had a laugh and redid the textures here. You don't see them too much up close in the actual animation so far, primarily just because of the way that I've shot it, but we've got Friar Sonic with spaghetti on all the dials. MTT brand microwave here. I think we also have... there's Papyrus's note. Papyrus's note in Papyrus, but for some strange reason, I could not get the actual font to come up on like Photoshop or anywhere else, so I had to find a specific website that allowed me to do that. So I love all these small details, I really do. I absolutely love them, so why not stick them in? And we've got his and her shack, which I think you can just about, or sentry station, which you can just about see in the background on one of the other scenes. The idea is because I'm doing so many different shots, it's better having everything in the scene so you can see it. Or in hopes that the camera will catch it. And the nice cream guy over here. Or he was. It's messed up a little bit because of this being an older file, but there's the nice cream cart. I need to actually fix the UVs there. But that was something that I modelled myself. Maybe it'd be useful to take someone to lead the VA stuff. I'm a VA director and a visual novel called Bonely Hearts Club. I basically assign and edit voice work. That might be good if you're okay with that, Blur. I don't want to like give everybody like massive amounts of work, but I could definitely use the help. You know, just to make things a little bit easier. There's one of the other sentry stations. I get that might conflict with what you were saying earlier. Ooh, can you just refresh my mind on that just right now? As I think I might have forgotten already with getting distracted. This is the only problem with me getting distracted way too easy. Is I'll go on like a massive talk about details and something, I'll be like, wait a minute, what did I say again? Oh, I see. I remember why. This is where the ruins is in one of the other scenes, but I've gotten rid of it for this file in particular by the looks of it. Primarily just because of how much is on screen. Because Snowdin is pretty massive. Wanted to take on more people for the team and being left on your own. Oh, yeah, okay. So, it's not that I'm afraid of being left on my own anymore with everyone that I'm working with so far. For me now, it's more just a whole thing of actually doing the work. I think it's more just... From other projects, obviously, that's made me a little bit concerned, and I mentioned it in the previous update video that I did, which which came out a couple of days ago, where I was like, yeah, I'm a little bit concerned, but that's for obvious reasons. But yeah, I honestly would not mind the help at the moment. Like, you guys have been brilliant to me so far, and like I said before, I can't thank you enough. So if it makes things easier and more coordinated, then yeah, I don't mind. Just so long as it's easier on you guys and you're not obviously getting confused and wound up with me trying to do stuff, and obviously because I'm not experienced, I'm accidentally causing issues. I don't want that, I really don't. You know, I'm just thinking about scenarios in my head that I've either been in or could happen, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want that. I really don't want that. You know, so the last thing I want to do is annoy you guys or upset any of you. You know. As Metaton. Or at least the computer that looks like Metaton. We can assume it's just him kind of chilling out for the time being. It's the same model as well, that's the funny thing. Here's all the snow dogs. And this is where we deviate slightly and give a little bit more of a tour of the plateau area, where you can go into the secret room with, I think it's Glide and Toby? The snow papyrus and snow sands. What I'm going to do is have... I'm going to have a shot here where Frisk comes off the ice puzzle and comes flying down and then lands in the snow and ends up being right next to snow papyrus and sands. That's going to be funny. Admittedly, you tend to burn the candle at both ends, so... delegation might be ideal for the production, says Ember. I'll admit that, like, the one thing that I find a little bit crazy is I can burn the candle at one end and go all in at one point, and then I think it's, I still don't know because I haven't been diagnosed properly yet, but I think it's something to do, I know my partner thinks it might be something to do with ADHD, but there are some times where I'll burn the candle like until ridiculous hours and work on stuff like all the time, and then there are other times where it's just like, I just need to relax, you know, so it's a little bit awkward. I do try my best though. Oh dude, did I? Oh yeah, I've still got the file for Behind Snowden there. I think that should have... Does it have... Let's have a look. Yay, it has cloth sim on it. It has cloth sim on it, so the Snowden sign and Papyrus's skeleton flag will actually blow in the wind. I think we talked about this in another stream, but just for the sake of Blair and Z being in here, you know, might as well go over some of these details because of how we've made Snowden look. It's gonna be so nice to see all this stuff. Like, admittedly, since I started doing the True Lab and we spent about 128 days doing the True Lab, getting all the assets, modeling everything, and doing the animation, this area of Snowden has been one area that I've been aiming for that entire time, because when I get here, it means that basically half the animation will have been done. Because I'll have done the True Lab, the Ruins, and Snowden, which leaves Hotland, Waterfall, and the end with New Home. Hear my partner sneezing in the background, maybe. Not gonna lie, some of the things you were saying before made me think you might have ADHD. I'm no doctor, but of course, I'm experienced in mental and chronic illnesses through myself and family. So basically, it leans. The reason I think I have it is primarily because it leans into some of the other stuff that I was told at a younger age. Blair says, "Bless you, Mrs. Dave." To you, Jen. She says, "Thank you." So yeah, when I was younger, a lot of people said, you know, like, he's easy to distract. He doesn't really learn too well. A lot of me learning was like hands-on stuff, or I had to be taught a specific way because I either didn't find it interesting or basically it just didn't gel with me quite well. And it became more of a thing over the years where I'd get distracted really easily, or the commonality throughout the entire thing would be everyone would say he gets distracted too easily. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, stuff that I either really enjoy or certain aspects of things I remember very well. So, for instance, like, we've said this previously in other streams, but just for Blur and Z, it's just as a reminder, it's that whole thing of for ages, I've been able to remember things based on stuff like objects that I had at a certain time period or whatever, to the point where I can remember stuff from like 20 years ago pretty easily. Some people can't do that, and I've been explaining this on stream, and a couple of people have said, dude, that sounds kind of weird, as if there's something up with you. Maybe you've got ADHD and you should look into it. And I'm like, maybe. The problem is with England, nobody really bothers to properly diagnose you and doesn't really care, I think the best way of saying it is. So I've never really found out, and my parents have always just said, oh no, there's no problem with you. But at the same time, they said that, and I went through depression as well, so, it's like, it's not that they don't care about me, it's just that I don't think they properly understand. So they've not been able to sort of get help for it, The NHS is in shambles now, don't even bother, I know, right? The best example of my parents not understanding and not really doing anything about it, not because they're bad, because they're really not, is I'm basically disabled. I have a skin condition, which is really rare, which basically means that my skin rips and tears and blisters really easily, leaving me with butterfly skin, as it's called. But, yeah, it leaves me in a weird position where I'm not disabled, but I am disabled. It's like, if I manage it well enough, then I look like any normal person. If I don't, well then I start ripping and tearing. Not physically, it's not doom or anything. But the reason why I mentioned this is because my parents didn't think anything of that for ages and just thought it was sensitive skin because it ran in the family. And then it was only when I was about 23 that got checked, and I actually found out the name of it, because before that they just thought, oh, it's just sensitive skin. And nobody checked anything out, nobody thought to check anything. They just kind of took it at face value, so that's the kind of thing I'm dealing with, where I'm like, I potentially have ADHD, I just haven't been diagnosed for it. It's also one of the reasons why I have enough time to do this project, because basically I'm disabled, I can't get a job easy, and as a result I have quite a lot of time, apart from looking after the baby. I have quite a lot of time on my hands at the moment. Yeah, I was telling this to, I think it was Lucky the other night, where I was like, yeah, this is part of the story. It also links in with part of Immersiontale's story for the player character. So yeah. Fun stuff. Have I got the... Oh, I do have the walk cycle here. Do I have... Oh, it's frame dropping on. So, that doesn't play as well as it should. I'm going to get the animations for the files here, while I've just shown off Snowden, because the walk cycles are really cool. Is it his? No? Let's try... Oh, no, wait. It might be in downloads. There you go. Okay. Because I want to explain some tiny details. My brother is currently in the process of being diagnosed with ADHD and autism. It's at least 6 months of waiting to get a test, and results take another 3 months, says Blur. Yeah, I heard that it was even longer for some people, like literally years. Which is why I didn't put in for it already. It would explain a lot if I did get results and they turned out to be, positive in terms of you have ADHD. I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, in terms of details here, depends on where you live. Ooh. Oh yeah, potentially. So here, what we've got, can I just... Oh, I've made Dogami's shoe vanish there. What I wanted to do is, the way that I do all the animating is these blocks that you'll see underneath the characters from time to time, they're just little cheat ways of moving the characters around the scenes without actually moving the character's skeleton. So what we have here with Dogamy is I wanted to give him more of that sort of masculine style approach to wielding his axe and walking around with it. I love the way the ears flop, by the way. I love small details like that. I'm so sorry if I'm all over the place in terms of like tone and the way I talk. But yeah, I wanted to make him feel more masculine, obviously. So I give him this kind of like heavy set over the shoulder kind of walk where he's carrying his axe. It looks really intimidating. And the idea was that because he's got a little bit more strength in his walk, I've made it feel like he's got more weight by him dipping down a little bit. He's carrying this shoulder, just a little bit of a sway, but it's more so on his axe. And the way that he kind of heavily puts his feet into the snow. See you later, Amber. Sorry, I keep going off track, says Blur. It's fine, it's fine. He doesn't look like Zoolander anymore, says David. No, wait. It's not him that looks like Zoolander. I joked about this in both Discords. So, Dogamy has this kind of walk cycle, but to contrast him, I wanted Doggeressa to have one that was more feminine. So what I did with... Oh. Come on. There she is. What I did with Doggeressa is I thought about the hip sway and the lighter hold on the axe. And what I did was I took inspiration from images of female tribeswomen that would carry spears. And they always seem to have this kind of position of not really holding it up. Potentially because you use more muscles that way on keeping something held up that weighs so much. So I was like, I'll have her wield it towards the floor, kind of like a spear for the moment, until she needs to get ready. So she has more of a feminine sort of walk, and then I give her this hip sway, but I think it has a little bit of sass towards it. I got this from, or the inspiration from this from a Blender tutorial online that was like, yeah, you need to emphasize the hips with a female walk cycle. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. So I made the hips sway a lot. And then, of course, we've tried to make her torso not sway too much, but just enough. And then obviously we've got the tail wag, just like Dogamy. And her ears are slightly blowing, as it were. Admittedly, she does still remind me of that Zoolander GIF that I posted up on both Discords, where I was like, check this out, I can't unsee this now, but it'll be different when they're in shot, because the idea is they come on to shot from like this, in terms of like this angle. So the idea is like they both come on, you see them a little bit sort of from the front as they walk on, then it immediately cuts to this kind of shot where they're both talking to each other, and then we get a pan round and then we see the player over here with Frisk. So that's going to be interesting. There it is, says Damon. Yeah, that's the animations that I've done at the moment. And then of course we've got some of the other stuff which I've got recently. Is all the axes and everything else. I need to check out some more of these Blender files. We've got Alphys in a lab. This one was really cool. This one's from the trailer as well. Some of this, if we see any pink textures, that'll be because Blender can't find the textures at the moment, and I'll have to make it find the textures. Ah, there we go. There we go. God damn it. I suppose we could just get this shot. This shot's really cool, because I can't wait to do the lab later on and have it on low power and everything. I remember modeling this. I just need to do the doors and things to Heartland. But the cool thing I like about this is, even with the textures missing... I'm just waiting for the stream here, because the stream, I think, is... Is it? Whoa. Is it my OBS that's slow here or not? Can you guys see pink textures on screen, or is that just me? Oh, no, wait. I see what it is. Dude, oh my god. So, yeah, what happened was, there's a second screen that came up. I'm used to working on like 2 screens, or maybe 3, and another screen came up viewporting everything, when what you were really supposed to see was this. So yeah, it doesn't show textures at the moment, but I can get them. Blair says, my girl! Honestly, I can't wait to have Alphys be properly voiced, you know, as in like... Let me re-clarify, I'll re-word. I did go to speech therapy ages ago for getting stuff with my the way that I speak cleared up, but obviously it's not that good. Okay, so what I mean is, at the moment, I'm using the Undertale cinematic dub to plan out everything and try and get, you know, like the preview shots done and time everything. Obviously, because I'm getting everybody else in to voice act and do those lines, I'll retime everything. So what I mean by when I'm redoing it and getting all the voice acting right and stuff is, I'll be redoing all the animation with the new voice acting that we've got so that it's all correct and stuff. I'm all over the place today. I'm like, ah! Panic ensues. Let's try here, because I think... Ah, there we go. We got some textures here. Not all of them. Try looking in all of my Blender file here and see whether it works. I know I got some of these lights and things from, like, BioShock, and some of the pipes were from Sonic as well, so it might be that while it's loading, it doesn't find them. I love that kind of detail in games, says Z. Oh, there it is. There it is. So here's the exact shot from the trailer that you see. I honestly love all these little details and everything. It's one of the main reasons why I do the project, is because I love seeing all of the underground in its full 3D glory with all the little details. Like, for instance, Alphys's console that looks like a video game sort of thing with 2-player sticks included. You know. And then Alphys's console is obviously, like, completely redone. I did that ages ago. But there's the camera. The idea is that we see Alphys looking at the player and Frisk coming out of the ruins early on, so that establishes the text dialogue that we get from the narrator, or Kara if you want to go with the narrator-Kara theory. The whole thing of just Alphys is watching at all points, so it's interesting seeing it earlier on than you would expect in the actual story. And then there's the... Have I still got the little Easter egg up here? Oh no, I don't! I'm gonna have to do that again. Was that the poster? Okay, I can't even find the poster. I'm gonna have to get that too. So I had a poster for MTT up here. It was accurate. And then over here is it's meant to be, and I need to get it back again. It's a video of the anniversary version. I think it was the anniversary version of Undertale, the one that was released on the Switch with Mew Mew in it. I literally just recorded that and put it on in the background as like a little Easter egg. If we ever get to see it in any of the scenes, you'll see like Mew Mew on the screen. It's not entirely accurate to the game because we don't see much of up here, but I thought it'd be pretty cool because then you get to see MTT's or Metaton's poster and then just see a little bit of Mew Mew going on because it's Alphys, you know. So yeah, there are a couple of files missing from this file, and then we've got the computer and the dog food. I can't remember whether I didn't do any of the detailing on the sticky notes, but I actually do need to do that at some point. Then we've got the bathroom in quotation marks door. We'll save that one, just so I know I've got the file fixed there. What other stuff have I got to show off? Because this is really fun, actually, to just show off stuff that you've not seen or not seen too much of. Like the book that Toriel holds, I went into so much detail with that. Where is it? You can just about see it in the trailer, but I do this. There we go. I made this texture, and we've even got Napster Blue being credited there, which I like. I tried to do like the fairy tale style setup for the books and everything. There's one for Gerson as well, I believe. The History of Monsters by Gerson. I think in one of the other videos. But that's pretty cool. I like doing stuff like that. Just making it feel more fleshed out and giving all the details to everybody that's watching. That's something I really enjoy. There's Asgore. Can't wait for, I think it's Grape to voice Asgore. There's Undyne, Armored Undyne as well. So the way that I did Undyne was a bit crazy. There she is in a pink armor because it's not appended. Let's find the missing files, which they should be in the Environ folder. Come on. There we go. So Undyne's better. So Undyne's model is a really crazy hack job. It's kind of what I'm going to do with Final Form Asriel, but it's a mixture of Mordred from Fate's Day, well, not Fate's Day Night, just the Fate franchise in general, if you're familiar with it, and Undyne's other model that I got from, I think, Source Filmmaker, and then I've just edited Mordred's armor to have the Deltarune symbol on it. Yeah, so she looks really damn good. I needed a better armored version of her because there's no like really good and detailed one for up close online, really. They all look a little bit too cartoony, which sounds terrible of me, but I'm just trying to get the best looking stuff. So yeah, she looks really good in some of her scenes. But because it's so much of a hack job, I have to animate her a little bit better. There was me trying to do the barrier ages ago. There's Asriel, lots of animating Asriel. Basement scene. There's Kara. Oh no. There's a slight spoiler there in terms of file names, but we'll try and avoid that. There we go, we'll go past that one. Somebody will like pause it later on. There's the DT skull, there's the particles, entry 17. I'm trying to think what else can show off. Undyne looks so beautiful. Thank you very much, C! Like I said, I'm just trying to get this to look the best it can before I put it out. Oh god, there's... I keep mentioning these in like different videos just to like the details and stuff, but this one really does kill me a little bit. So, I mentioned this in one of the other videos recently. But if I do this, let's try and see if it finds all of the shaders. Love the way when it's missing shaders, everything just, you know, goes pink. Uh-oh, says Blair. I'll still be watching, I'm just building furniture. That's fine. Classic says, gotta go shopping. Stay awesome, Moody. Thank you very much, Classic. We'll see you later. Why is Toriel's dress not the right colour? Let's see. What is it? God. I'm watching the stream while drawing, says Z. Nice. This one. I don't know why it's assigned the wrong textures for certain files here. Like, for instance, Asriel's has... Oh, no, wait. What the... Okay, so maybe it's just the way that the files actually are. They might need to be reloaded. But, this one I actually did for, like, a small detailed shot. Asriel, Kara, and Asgore and Toriel were a happy family. God, that's... Yeah. But yeah, I did them like that and then put them on a picture frame in Kara and Asriel's room. And you could just about see it in the VHS shot. Where is it? It's just a tiny details, but there it is. VHS 4. Oh my god. Here's the I'm gonna need to go through these files again and just clear them all up at some point, so heck, I could make that into a stream all on its own. Let's see if this works. Come on. So this is one of the scenes that I've shown off twice now in the trailers because, you know, it's important. It's the plan. It's them basically finalizing the plan and talking about it and really sort of saying, yeah, we're gonna get a lot. We're gonna go along with it. We're committed to it now. I'm just waiting for the Blender files to load in here. It's got to check through like a ton of files because I have a ridiculous amount for this project. Literally, I'm gonna have to go through like all of these files and just fix them all. Because these are all from my previous computer, so the directories for them are slightly messed up. Oh wow, it's taking quite a long time to actually find them as well. Which is actually really surprising. It'll be going through the environment file, the characters and models file. And then I'm trying to remember where else it'll go through. see. I'm just going to quickly take a look at where it has to look here while it's loading. While Big Shot's playing. Okay, so in the folder, it has to go through Blender files, Blender output, character files, custom textures, environment, external files for video scenes, external libraries for characters and scenery, Florals file, the level backups, script and planning, and Undertale sounds. Hey, there we go. Why is Asriel's model using Frisk's clothing? I have no clue why that's happening. That's the second time it's done that now. Oh, I see. It might have the same file name. It might have the same file name. Right, let's try... Wait, what? Yeah, why is it directing to Frisk there? Frisk isn't even in the... What? There we go. Don't know why it's directed to Frisk there. No, story shift Asriel's file. There we go. Okay, so at least I know how to fix that. So yeah, in the scene where Kara's talking to Asriel here, also we've got the camera, but there's the photo in the corner that you can just about see in the trailer. Like when you watch this scene, you can see Asriel's reflection in the picture frame here. I want to do a load of these little details in hopes that people will actually see them and really enjoy them. You know, you can only just make out that it's Toriel and Asgore there, but it's definitely worth it. Like the entire scene just playing out. I can't wait to redo this in 30 FPS. In fact, I think I can play it in 30, but it'll be out of sync. Let's try this. Oh, dude, it looks really good in 30. Oh god, it looks good in 30, but I have to slow down some of the animations. Because Asriel looks way too aggressive there. When he throws his arm back, where he's like, no, I'm not questioning you. Is it? Like, no, I don't doubt you. He throws his arm back because he's that passionate. But of course, it looks really aggressive. Maybe slow it down a bit. And the thing is, going for this sort of scene as well, you can tell, like, everybody's impression of Kara seems to be the whole thing, like, it seems to be the larger YouTubers that first ran the game, do the whole thing about perpetuating Kara being, like, the ultimate bad guy, when really it's the player's control that makes them the bad guy in the genocide run. So in the pacifist run, the true pacifist run, Kara has this sort of like semi-mischievous but sort of optimistic sort of approach to things. And at the same time, it's like I've tried to make them look really sort of obviously upset because they really don't want to do this. So we've got Asriel that's already upset, but because we're seeing the shot from behind, we get to see Kara's facial expressions, which are definitely not hee I'm going along with this, I'm tricking everybody, I'm a demon child or whatever. Instead, it's more, do we really have to do this? You know. That's the look of, okay, I guess we'll do this then? You know. The same with, what was it, one of the other VHSs. I might as well spend time repairing some of these files. VHS 3 in Waterfall. That's pretty much the same in terms of, like, that's the talk before the plan, or rather, where they're getting ready for the plan. Oh, I remember, it's the one where they're talking about Asgore, when Asgore gets poisoned. So for those who are unfamiliar with the story, because there are some people in here that are unfamiliar with the story of Undertale, at one point, Asgore gets poisoned by both of the kids when they mistakenly put buttercups in his pie or his food instead of cups of butter. And yeah, this is the scene where they talk about it, where they're both in Waterfall. Asriel's the one with the camera, and when it loads all the files in, then you'll be able to see again Kara's definitely not enjoying this whole narrative that everybody spins of them being the bad guy and basically enjoying tricking Asgore into eating buttercups. Instead, it's like, no, they really do feel very upset about it because they're responsible for it. This is another one of the trailer shots as well. So we got... Should the behind the scenes have been making this ages ago, but Wellesley and Blur are here. Let's do this 20, I think it is? No, not 20, 30. What is it? 23. 30. So here we go. Here's Kara from Asriel's point of view when they're in Waterfall. And they're both talking to each other, and then I think it's Asriel that brings it up first. Where they're really happy with the conversation at the beginning, and then you see where Asriel brings it up. Like the whole conversation. I love the way Kara's hair is just flowing in the wind here as well, while all the particles from Waterfall are floating upwards. And then you can see that's the bit where Kara's like, do you remember when we accidentally poisoned Dad? They really, really are not happy remembering either. And then this is the bit where they turn around and be like, can you do me a favor? Can you turn the camera off? I'm thinking about everything for a moment. Where is it? We're almost at the end here. So they're like, can you turn the camera off? And that's where Asriel's like, yeah, why? And then it turns off the... And then of course we've got VHS 1 as well with Toriel. Was it VHS 1? There's 2. Where's 1? Might be Asgore. There we go, Asgore and Toriel's room. This one I really like as well, because this shows off Asgore in his casual outfit. Don't let those eyes fool you, says John. Wait, what? For Kara? Still files missing. Let's find all these files for New Home now. Honestly, I'm really happy with Muffet's look at the beginning. That's going to be really cool to get in. I made an Encanto cover called We Don't Talk About Gaster, where we made Gaster the villain, but not actually. The thing is, it's like, I can get the whole thing about Gaster being the villain, potentially, because you don't know, too much about him. Nobody does. That's the whole allure to Gaster, is you only get little bits about him. But it's funny how the entire fandom makes him out to be, like, the big bad guy behind everything in some cases. It's like, I suppose it's because it's an easy role for him to fill, but he was trusted by Asgore at some point to be the royal scientist, so he can't be that bad, right? And it goes over the events with the buttercup pie. Ooh. He's like an accidental villain. Yeah, I think it's that whole thing of Gaster does some really, really suspicious stuff where you're like, I'm not sure where he's going with this, but because we never see what the objective is, we never get to properly understand what he was experimenting with. Other than he builds the core and the DT extractor, seemingly. Oh, it's like, apart from that, because we don't know much about him, it's not as if anyone can definitively say he's a good guy or a bad guy. There's Asgore, inspired by the comic Gaster's Escape from, I think it's Tumblr I got it from. And the reason why I say that is because he has his eye colors based on that. Also based on his attacks. This is from Toriel's point of view, so you get to see Asgore just half asleep here. I remember when everybody was having a laugh at this because Asgore looked as though he was doing a sexy face. When we turned the lights on for a little bit so we can see his model, he looked like he had a really sexy facial expression when he first wakes up. You're like, yeah, we don't want that. Let's make him look really tired. This is where Asgore and Toriel talk about having, I think it's Kara. There's the picture of them as well. And the thing is, because I mentioned about lighting and logistics behind everything, I give them a little nightlight, which is a little mushroom, which is from the ruins. What I did was I've set up the ruins, so I think I mentioned this in the behind the scenes at some point, or in the work in progress section if you look in the Discord for Immersiontale. But the ruins, I have this weird thing of just everything needs to make a little bit of sense, even if it's like fantasy or magic stuff. It needs to have a little bit of grounding to it, just so everything kind of works with each other. So yeah, they have a little bit of mushrooms growing here and there in the ruins because of the water that comes through there. And as a result, the mushrooms are the glowing kind. So, yeah. I'm still mad I wasn't able to join, says Z. Wait, what? Oh, I get you. For Blur's stuff. Love the way we set up. Tutorial there. There's the pictures in the background. There's one of Asgore and Toriel there, which you can just about see. Where Asgore's in his casual attire. And then we got the... Oh, hello. I think that might be food. Just a moment. Okay, so I'm back. So yeah, basically, I'm gonna finish off this by just showing off the trophy as well. So, unfortunately, the way that this works at the moment is because of the baby and everything. Most of the time, we're either trying to make quick meals or takeaway. I've just literally answered the door because we've got takeaway for tonight. So I'm gonna have to end the stream here because food's here. Look after myself, and then I'll keep doing these updates and little streams from behind the scenes, and eventually it'll be good doing the full animation with all the voices and everything. Either way, it's been nice talking to you all again. I thank you very much for your time as usual, and hello to Z and Blur. It's so nice actually talking to you like this. So yeah, thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!